How wild was it when he went to fucking Dallas and did the star thing?
Well, what was wild? Well, that was when he was on San Francisco. He did the star thing. Then Emmitt Smith came back and did the star thing. He's so freaking wild that he went back and did it again after scoring another touchdown. That's how wild T.O. is. And he had Dallas absolutely hate him. And then what was so wild in the end is he got traded to Dallas at, some point in his career from Philadelphia Eagles. And then they fell in love with him in Dallas as well because he was such a baller and so wild out there on the field and had a freaking 50 wild TD celebrations as well in Dallas.
What other TD? I remember him doing the popcorn in the face. Oh, wait up. Can you toss me a ball real quick?
Yeah, I got you. Here, Jules. Oh, Tony Romo dropping back. Oh, hits T.O. Touchdown,
T.O.
baby.
Touchdown.
Oh.
One of the most famous one that we saw even influence Christian McCaffrey on one of our episodes.
When he was 7 years old.
7 years old, takes out, signs the ball. After a touchdown, takes out his sock. How fucking crazy is that's kind of like when you took out the easy button on your fucking out of the thing. Did he influence you?
I got Jules' autograph, dude. I'm going right to eBay, baby. I need some money in my bank account. How much will I get, Jules?
Probably $300. Did he influence you to take out the easy button? Because
actually, that is exactly who influenced me. Because once I saw the easy button in my locker when Staples sent it to me, I actually was like, oh, I'm gonna hide this behind the goalpost. No, he hid something behind a goalpost.
That was Joe Horn with the cell phone. Ocho, what?
Ocho tried to hide the easy button.
Ocho tried to hide the easy button.
Put it this way. I was inspired by T.O. and Chad Ochocinco combined, and that's what made me do the easy button, celebration in practice.
Two wild
because
cards
of those two guys. They inspired me to be freaking absolutely wild. So here we go. Signed football right here. Inspired by T.O. And we'll be giving this football away, everyone.
One lucky fan, best comment section in something. We'll discover what it is. But you got to do something really cool. What else we got? Did we miss anything else?
Yeah, what I really love about T.O. as well and what made him such a beast on the field and so hard to tackle is the way he ran and the way he just got his knees up in the air. He ran with high knees. And when you run with high knees like that, it's hard to take someone out and especially catch them from behind. And that's why he looked like, what are those gazelles out there?
Yeah.
He looked like a gazelle when he was running, like kind of like a horse as well. And that's why no one could catch him. And that's why he was so great, so fast, so talented, because of those high knees, that drive that he had.
How old is T.O. right now?
He's 50.
He still looks great, man. He still looks like a professional athlete. If you see, I saw him like maybe a couple years ago somewhere. He was cool as fuck. And he still looked like he could go out. What the fuck? El Dorado is his middle name? El Dorado?
Terrell Dorado Owens.
That is a sick ass. I would have gone as El Dorado. El Dorado Owens?
That would have been a badass football name.
El Dorado?
Imagine just putting El Dorado on back of a jersey name.
El Dorado.
Oh, everyone would have that jersey.
Why don't you give me some way?
Don't know that song.
What's the craziest injury that you played through?
I would say I basically did the same thing. When I basically snapped my ankle in half, AFC Championship game versus the Baltimore Ravens. I came back in that game about 15 minutes later and played, about 8 minutes with 8 minutes left in the fourth quarter. So that was one of the craziest injuries I played through. Oh, also, I broke 6 of my ribs when I was in Tampa. I got level going across the middle. Tom set me up once again.
I think we talked about that, didn't we?
I don't know. I'm not sure.
I feel like we talked about that already.
And I broke 6 of my ribs, and then the X-ray machine showed that I didn't break any ribs. So I went back in the game like, oh, I got to go back in. I can't, be a sissy. The X-ray machine said I had no broken ribs. So I go back in the game, get 2 more catches. I'm like, I'm hurting, bro. I'm hurting. Like this is bad. So I take myself back out of the game. We go home, and then I get an MRI, and I have 6 broken ribs.
Jesus.
So I played through that. That was painful. That was painful.
What about him and Ocho having a TV show together?
I remember it was hosted by like Kevin Frazier, and it was on like a network we really never heard of.
But what would our show be called? Name? That's the T-Ocho. That's a pretty good name.
How about
the T-Ocho?
Gronky Nuts.
Gronky Nuts.
Yeah.
I like it. Gronk and Jules.
Gronk and Jules.
And then last,
We would
let
figure
us
that
know
out.
what you guys think
Yeah, let
our
us
show
know,
should be.
please.
Also, we'd be crazy if we don't talk about when he started crying about Tony Romo and that's my quarterback. You know how many times I've used that in just like a jokingly term?
I've heard you use it plenty of times.
That's
in
my
the locker room.
quarterback, man.
What about his shades, though? Those are some pretty awful shades.
I liked them. I thought they were swaggy. Hey,
I was not a fan of them.
T.O. was, I bet you he's just a misunderstood dude. He's got a lot of emotions in there. I wonder what his upbringing was because he would have those bursts, you know what I mean? But you knew he loved the game.
Well, what kind of dude is Terrell Owens, Jules?
I think it's easy for this one. I mean, you could put him in as a dog because he's a dog. He's definitely a stud. Whiz, he's could be a whiz.
I mean, he definitely knows
I
the
don't
game,
know. I mean,
game
he's
of
been-
football.
he's been
He
taking-
was all purpose on the field. I mean, he could take handoffs as well. He could line
do
up
everything on the
in
field.
slot. Yeah, he was an
Everything on the
all-purpose
field.
football player besides a running back.
But I think it's one thing and one thing only.
Yeah, I agree with you. I mean, this guy had unparalleled physical abilities.
Unparalleled.
I mean,
He still
he
looks
was
like he
one
can
of
play.
one. His instincts were through the roof. I gotta go
On three,
with
let's see if we're
as well,
singing.
Jules.
1, 2, 3,
Freak. Absolute freak of nature.
Without a
And I
doubt.
got another question real quick, Jules. Would you cry for Tom Brady?
I did cry for Tom Brady, but it wasn't in the same context. It was when I read about him leaving New England and without, reading it from him, I read it on ESPN bottom ticker that Brady signed to Tampa Bay. And then, I had a single tear run down my beard. I just saw him
feel
3
for
days before, too, with Jimmy fucking Fallon at the goddamn Syracuse game. The guy didn't hint anything to me.
I feel for you, Jules.
Would you cry for him?
I have.
Are you going to cry right now?
Yeah.
Let's see if you can you cry on command?
I'm just crying, just thinking about all our good times we had together.
Is that a
And
Gronk
it's
cry?
over.
I see a tear.
I'm trying.
I see a
I'm trying.
tear.
I'm trying.
I see a
Jules.
tear.
I just tried. I almost got
He's
a tear.
coming.
I almost got a tear. Wow, I almost got a tear. That was pretty good.
Hey,
Pretty good.
I think that's
I'm not lying. I almost got
man.
one.
That's my time.
I'm actually feeling more emotional now.
Where did you go to get the emotion?
I just thought about all our Super Bowl wins and how much work we put in and how it's all over.
So
though.
that's what you pulled from to get the tear. I'm working on my tears. I just did an audition where I had to have a sex scene with the guy over Zoom.
I would be.
Let's
tearing.
just be say.
I
Let's
would be
just.
tearing
It's
if I
safe
was
to
you.
say I didn't get the fucking role.
That's good. I'm glad you didn't, Jules.
God.
You would be the definition of dudes on dudes.